Hello again, all you beautiful minds and souls out there. Welcome to another video in A Letter to Self here. Today, I want to take a few moments and just introduce myself and begin to speak a little bit about my journey and how A Letter to Self actually came to be. For the first half of my life was really lived in a vibration of worry, of fear, of doubt. And then in 2013, I came across a class in metaphysics, the School of Metaphysics, if you will. And I took that coursework, and through its direction and through its exercises and through its information, all that I learned from that coursework gave me the ability to have enough courage through self discipline within myself to be right here, right now with you all. Prior to 2013, there was absolutely no way I could have even fathomed or wrapped my mind around doing a video with you all. Because prior to right here, right now, in the past, my life dealt with, like I said, all that worry, fear, and doubt. And I dealt with a tremendous amount of anxiety attacks, panic attacks. Going out into public was really difficult for me. In fact, going through and understanding metaphysics gave me an understanding of my one of my natural gifts, and that's the ability to be an empath. And so being able to unconsciously and unknowingly connect with others' thoughts, others' emotions, others' vibrations really set me into a panic for most of my life until I learned to have the understanding of that gift within myself of being an empath and being able to distance myself from others and their emotions and their thoughts. Anyways, before the here and now and dealing with all of that anxiety in the past, understanding metaphysics gave me the understanding of how to deal with my own thoughts, how to deal with my own emotions, be able to create the vibrations that I want to. And so from 2013 on to the present time, I really practiced metaphysics. In fact, I taught a class in metaphysics for over a decade, and it really, really changed my life. In fact, now I have, and I run, which will be coming up here in July, our 25th Metaphysical Fair. And there, on those weekends, I deal with thousands of people. And every time, every year, every fair that I have, it's like magic to me because prior to the understanding of metaphysics and my own personal self and my higher self, that was again unfathomable for me to be able to do, just like again this video right here with you now. So the past 13, 15 years have been a huge, tremendous learning and growth experience for me. And then in 2026, in this year, I came across this Akashic Records course. And the way that it happened was absolutely beautiful. It was perfect timing for me in the way that it developed. Here where I am sitting right now, this is my own personal space that I developed just within the last 6 months so that I can come here and be with myself, be present with myself so that I'm able to be calm and meditate and listen to those higher parts of myself, if you will. And so I developed this space, I created this space, and it came magically. It really came magically because it allowed me to bring all of my creative abilities together in one space so that when I walk into this space is me. It's filled with my light, it's filled with my emotions, my thought, my vibration, all that has the ability to connect with my creative abilities. That being said, when I joined the Akashic Records course, one of the guidances from that course was to create your own space. So, through my own intuition and my own inner guidance, I created the space before I even knew it was needed to join in with the Akashic Records. So, all of it coming together in perfect timing with the assistance of Source, God, Creator, whatever you choose to call your higher power. This course came into place through magic because through the Akashic records and dealing with my higher self and listening to the suggestions and the recommendations from Akash, one of the recommendations, most definitely for me, was to create a journal. Creating that journal allows me to go back and reconsider my thoughts, look through what came in, and what came in through the process of my journals and understanding Akash more and more was the thought of a letter to self, and how I would be able to go online and speak to all of you out there so that I had something, some kind of purpose to come in with, so that I had something to share with you. And so a letter to self came about through 15, 20 years of working on myself, 15, 20 years of working on the understanding of and connecting to my higher power, connecting to my heart chakra, understanding chakras, understanding the power of thought, developing and strengthening and be really, really becoming friends with my own intuition. So that I'm becoming to be this what I call this whole functioning self, where I'm able to now come in and share with you uh, what I have to offer as far as spiritual growth and learning in this world in the midst of 2026 and all the chaos that is going on in this world. Having an understanding and calling it again a letter to self. And the reason why I chose it to be called a letter to self is that through my own spiritual development from a higher perspective, if you will, because right here in the third dimension, we all have our own individual egos. We all have our own individuality and perspectives to come from, but from a higher sense, from a loftier point of view, if you will, we are literally energetically all one. And so when I am writing to myself in a letter to self through my journaling, that letter to self is not only a letter to me, but it's a letter to you. Because again, on a higher level, I understand that those of you that are joining me now and watching me are, from that higher perspective, a part of me, a spark of that divine vibration that we all come from. Well, again, whether you call that your higher self, whether you call it God, source, I choose to call it source. And I'm coming back to terms with a brighter and loftier and new understanding of the term God as well. And so that is how a letter to self came to be. And I hope to be able to sit here and spend my time with you, coming from spirit, coming from heart, so that I have the ability to do my part in this world and share all of the beautiful things that I've learned to come and understand that have completely changed my life and had given me power over my life that, like I said, decades ago, I would have never, ever thought possible. So that's just kind of an introduction of a letter to self. And what I want to do with this channel is, again, be able to share not only my life experiences with you and allow myself to be humble and vulnerable in that way, but also be able to share little tidbits of information and exercise and little things that we can do on a daily basis in order to be able to again begin to connect with, or if you're already connecting with your higher self, to be able to connect with yourself on a deeper level, so that we all have the capacity to come into the knowing of our higher self in what I call this great awakening. I have been experiencing this great awakening since 2013, and here in the past couple of years, it has really expanded. One of my favorite laws is the universal law of duality. And so I have noticed since 2020 to the present period of time, through all of the chaos, whether it be COVID and everything else that COVID has brought, or whether any of the experiences that are happening right here and right now in the present, through that darkness, so much light is showing. And through the understanding of the darkness of this world, people are beginning to, ironically, through duality, understand the light within themselves, understand the power within themselves. And so I want to be able to spend my time at least once a week here to start to share my experiences and my learnings with you, because every time that I am able to sit here and share with you, it allows myself to expand just a little bit. It allows my understandings to deepen just a little bit. It allows me to share not only what I've come to learn and understand, but it allows me to share in a way that I'm able to connect with that thing that I call our higher power, the collective, if you will, the superconscious mind. Understanding those vibrations that are above and beyond the physical, so that we have the ability to bring in those energies from a higher perspective, use those higher vibrations in this physical world, and become who we're supposed to be. What I mean by becoming who we're supposed to be are simply remembering who we are as a soul, remembering who we are as that spark of light, remember who we are as our gifts and our talents and things that we have to bring forth through action and sharing in this world, in this third dimension. In fact, that's why I have my metaphysical fair now, is I love it to be the opportunity for people that want to participate and become vendors within the fair, have the ability to come into the fair, be in a surrounding that feels loving, that feels safe, that they have the ability to come and know that they are respected and honored by the gifts and talents that they have to offer for the fair, whether it be a reader, a psychic, a healer, whether they're doing energy work, whether it's just sharing of their gifts and talents and their artworks, whatever it may be. The fair offers a space for everybody to become involved in a weekend of connection, a weekend of light, a weekend of expansion, so that they as individuals and we as a collective throughout that weekend have the opportunity to share what we come to offer in this world, to begin to deepen our understanding of our purpose, to begin to come out of that vulnerable, or allow ourselves to be in a vulnerable space, come out of into an uncomfortable zone, if you will, and actually expand our understanding and what we have to offer the world by moving beyond fear. I think many of us have a truly misunderstanding in fear, and when an individual becomes fearful or frightened of something, it tends to stop them dead in their tracks, rather than having the ability to know you have the ability to transmute and alchemize that energy, if you will, this energy called fear, and let it tell you from a certain space within yourself that if you are afraid of something, move into it, move through it, move beyond it. Because one thing I have learned about fear is if I utilize fear and I alchemize fear, rather than allowing myself to become fearful or afraid, it allows me to move forward with whatever it is that I'm creating. And to whatever degree, the outcome of moving beyond fear has always been success. In fact, that's what I'm doing right here, right now, moving beyond my own fear of being in front of the screen and allowing myself to be vulnerable and videotaped. So even at this moment, I'm practicing kind of what I'm preaching. And not that I'm here to preach, because I'm not here to preach. I'm here to share my understandings of what I've come to know about myself and the world around me, so that we can all begin to muster the courage to do whatever it is that we need to be doing, or should be doing, or want to be doing in this world. That space and that knowledge and that understanding that comes from our heart. I believe it's so important right now in 2026 to be able to not only have that knowing within yourself, but be able to take that knowing, whether it's through your throat chakra or whatever it may be, to speak your knowing, to teach your knowing, to share your knowing, because we are all here and have chosen to be here, by the way, in the midst of all this chaos in 2026, to be part of this great awakening. So thank you for letting me to share what I have come to share with you. And I will try to be on here at least once a week and come and expand my own understanding of myself, others, and the world around me through this great awakening. Much blessings to you all. Thank you, all you beautiful minds and souls, for listening.